tour. Yeah, it meant a lot last night, and then today I was quite proud that I managed to back it up after all the emotion came out yesterday. To then to get a real big one for the team was very important.
Did you ever doubt yourself going into this match?
Yeah, 100%. I've doubted myself for 12 years. I'll probably continue to doubt myself. But obviously, the longer it goes, the harder it becomes. But I suppose that's why I can be quite proud. I was proud last night that going to the well again and delivering a performance like that was pleasing. It's just a shame it's 3.5, 4 weeks too late. But I'll have to live with that for a long time. But it's nice to score a few.
John Etheridge, just in the middle here. And Chris.
I think before play you interviewed and used the phrase last chance saloon. Did you feel that if you hadn't made runs here you might have been dropped for the last test?
Well, you don't know, do you? Would have been entitled to, just because I hadn't scored, literally hadn't scored a run since Edgbaston. So that's 2 West Indies games and 3 here and some warm-up games. I always feel as though I've got the backing of the selectors, but you still got to deliver the goods, and I hadn't done that on this tour, and it was frustrating and very frustrating.
And did you feel at any stage during the first 3 tests that maybe your career was drawing to a close?
I've never thought like that. I've always thought about fighting hard and trying to put in a good performance for England, and I haven't been able to do that on this tour. So, but yeah, no, I had never thought like that.
Chris, Jonathan?
Alastair, the innings in this test match kind of brought people's minds back to perhaps 2010-11 when you had that amazing run over here. Did you feel better at the crease batting today than at any point during that?
I can't remember that far back, to be honest with you. It's obviously with my batting over a period of time, obviously there's quite a few moving parts to it, and when they're not quite in sync, it can be quite frustrating. And basically the one way of delivering it is time in the middle. And if you get time in the middle and you feel at ease, sometimes, I played quite nicely yesterday. I got to 40, I think, and kind of felt like the old movements are back. They're probably not that different to where they were the other games. But it's just, that I suppose the natural thing of being slightly different. I mean, if I could put my finger on exactly what it is, it would probably save me a lot more strife. But I can't.
Jonathan, and then we'll do Will.
You always look so kind of calm and unflappable. There's not much emotion on the surface when you're batting. What kind of was going on under the lid?
What, yesterday or today?
Throughout your innings?
Not a huge amount today. I quite enjoyed listening to Barmy Army sing their songs in the last session, and batting with Broady, which is a different experience. And yeah, just it's one of those things you get in a few times in your career. You get into a bit of that bit of rhythm where time kind of just flies by. This tour, batting for half an hour, has felt like 2 hours, and then for some reason, whatever reason, in the last 10 hours, it's gone quickly, and it's just exactly.
Do you enjoy batting? And I know that's kind of a stupid question.
Well, you don't enjoy fielding for all the time, so you've got to enjoy something about the game.
Do you have to be batting well to enjoy it, or does it have to mean
it
something?
helps. It does help. It does help. Yeah, it's not quite so much fun when you don't know where your next run's coming from.
Will and gentleman in the middle here. Yeah.
You know how much a whitewash hurts and how it can break a team up and end careers. How much this week did you want to be the guy to play the innings that prevented it, and how nice is it to have gone a long way to doing that?
Yeah, I've obviously been in a couple. To be honest, that has not crossed my mind for 3 days. It's all about playing, trying to put in a good performance as a team. We kept banging on about it. For 3 games, that if you look at the first game in Brisbane, 3 days it was level, and we couldn't. On the 4th day we struggled, and it's the same with the other 2 Test matches. There's been days where it's been even Stevens in Australia have taken it away from us. So we've got another opportunity tomorrow to come back with a good lead and try and put some pressure on Australia's batters.
Just on the Vincent Milan dismissals, Alastair, replay showed the ball hit the bat, although wasn't a big hit. But, would you like to have seen the guys go to a replay, or what did you sort of talk to them?
Obviously they asked my opinion, and I thought both of them were out. But from my end, otherwise I'd told them. Normally when you hit it, or not. So it's obviously a little bit strange, but you know, we make mistakes. You know, that's what we do. Unfortunately, we're all human. And it's obviously, you know, they'll be more disappointed. I didn't hear either from my end. Obviously, if I did, I would have said something.
Cloughie, Dean and Marty.
How many more? Sorry.
Alastair, there were some lovely shots throughout your innings. Did you approach it slightly different from the outset with more attacking intent? And if so, was that because you'd been on such a run and it was like, well, here goes...
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, you have a bit less to lose when you haven't scored it. I think I scored 30 odd. And if you keep doing the same stuff, so I didn't. I suppose I did have nothing to lose in one sense. That I kept. So yeah, you can sometimes. Right, I'm going to play a bit more positively.
Did you notice Stuart Broad's celebration when you got to your double 100?
No, I didn't actually. Was it good?
Yeah, yeah. It was maybe even more emotional than yours. I mean, he punched the air, and obviously it meant a lot to him to see you succeed that way. Just maybe you can have a word about that team support, that need for you all to stick together.
Like yesterday, the feeling when I walked in the changing room last night was very special, and then obviously just now as well. It's obviously been dragged out to do this, so I haven't really enjoyed it. But I think people can see what it means for all of us to play well, and we're all desperate to do well. And you're obviously seeing David score his first 100 last week at Perth. Saw how much it meant to him, and if you scored a few more than I have, it still means so much. And the team's been fantastic. Obviously, we've had an interesting, horrible word, but an interesting journey on this tour with a lot of things going on. But we stuck together really well as a side and as a group of players, and we've put in 3 good days of performance here. Let's hope we can do in day 4 tomorrow.
And before your 150th test, you talked about the kind of the extra work that you've been putting in, going to extra nets and really trying to get that score. When you hadn't got it, did you question, why am I kind of putting all this extra work in and I'm not getting the results? Did you kind of need this innings to just kind of vindicate that extra work that you've been doing?
Yeah, yes and no. I think I've always worked quite hard on my whole game, and obviously my approach to cricket. So unfortunately, I don't score. Most of my runs are pretty ugly runs and quite hard work. So it's so that hasn't changed throughout my whole career. So I've always prided myself on working really hard, and I thought it was an opportunity between a couple of those games to do some extra work, which I thought I needed to do. I suppose it does show that eventually it does bear fruit.
Marty, then Ben to finish off.
Just a different topic. Can you just talk us through the Usman Khawaja catch when you were out in the middle and what you and Stuart were talking about when the replays were being shown?
Yeah, obviously we were 80 yards away from it, so we didn't have the best view on it. Obviously the catch looked inconclusive on TV. Obviously, no one knew what it is, but he's a pretty fair cricketer. Not that I played a huge amount against him, but he was pretty confident in the catch. And sometimes on those things, you do have to take the player's word for it. And there's no reason for him to say any other. So I think we trust the decision. Obviously, just if the technicality of the decision, if the umpires had said it was a not out, then I think the decision would be changed, and I'm not sure how any of them they could see that from being so far away as well. So, but I don't think we really need to get drawn into those situations. I think sometimes you do have to just trust the player on that, and he was confident straight away.
Could you just talk about the English fans down at Bay 13 and the support they've given you over the last 2 days?
Yeah, I mean it's incredible. It's not just the last 2 days; it's been the whole tour. It's been every tour I've ever been on, and it's obviously those guys are singing. There's also just other English fans in the stadium as well. We are so lucky everywhere we go. The Barmy Army and then the English supporters supporting us, through thick and thin, and they know the efforts we put in. We know obviously a few of them, off the field as well, just because we obviously played a lot of cricket and they've travelled loads of miles around, and they're very proud of their support, and we're very lucky and thankful there.
Alastair, what change did Mitchell Starc's absence make to the dynamic of the Australian attack, do you think, and maybe the way that England's tail was able to bat in this?
Well, it's just obviously the natural variation of a left armour, the balance of attack, to have that different angle. Obviously, the batter messes a little bit with your angles and stuff. So obviously, in an ideal world, you'd love to have any left armour because it just changes batter and you've got a different angle over round. I think that variety is quite important.
And can I just ask about passing Brian Lara's?
Well, then quickly then we'll...
Just past Brian Lara moving to sixth position.
Yeah, look, like, I can't really explain that.